Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about Black Cat by Jed McKay, and more specifically the first volume of Black Cat, consisting of the first 12 issues and an annual. But first I want to remind everyone about the giveaway I am doing, where you could win the Fantastic Four Volume 1 Omnibus by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. The giveaway lasts between June 13 and July 13, and all you have to do to join in is make sure you're subscribed to the channel and leave a comment on any video I post in that time frame. Again, between June 13 and July 13, any video I post, you can comment on it. Each comment gets you another chance at winning this, the Fantastic Four Omnibus Volume 1 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, an absolute classic. You can't miss this. And of course, I want to thank everyone that has already joined in. It's been an incredible turnout so far. I honestly did not expect so many people already joining into the giveaway. A lot of people, a lot of viewers from Central America, as YouTube shows me. Again, thank you so much. I'm very grateful. I hope you'll enjoy the videos I'll be doing. And again, I want to thank each and every one of you. Okay, now back to the video. As always, we'll start off by checking out the covers for each issue, starting off with a variant for issue number 1 done by Stanley Arjamlao. After that, every cover is of course done by the legendary J. Scott Campbell, the absolute best artist for Black Cat in my opinion. Amazing covers, and the first issue of Black Cat was the 4th best-selling comic book of 2019 when it released, and come on, is there any doubt that it would be? Marvel released a ton of variant covers for this, and they all looked absolutely amazing. J. Scott Campbell, on top of doing the standard covers, also did a lot of variant covers, and honestly, a lot of people have an issue with variant covers and how both Marvel and DC, and actually the other comic book publishers, almost exploit them, but in this instance, I absolutely loved every single one of them. And of course, it was great having J. Scott Campbell stick around for the rest of the series, and as you can see, doing this amazing work. And just from the covers here, we do get a feel for what this series is and what Jed McKay was trying to do. I mean, Wolverine and Black Cat, this is a very fun series, and I'm gonna say it, I really liked it. This is gonna be a very positive video because, again, it was a lot of fun. I mean, just look at this. Tony Stark with his dumb grin next to Felicia looking absolutely gorgeous. How can you not love it? And as I mentioned, 12 issues and an annual. Again, one of my favorite covers for the annual. Black Cat with Spider-Man getting married, question mark, with Spider-Man's enemies, foes in the background. Spoiler alert, none of them show up in this issue, but again, it's a lot of fun. Okay, so what is the series about? Well, the Black Fox plans to retire. He is Felicia Hardy's mentor, and her father's mentor as well. And before he could retire, he wants to do one final heist, the biggest of his career. But for that, he needs some very special items, and that's where Felicia and her crew come in. They go around stealing those special items, and the thing is, the items are from other Marvel heroes. So we get to see the Black Cat steal a contract from Doctor Strange, or a very special book from the Fantastic Four, and so on and so forth. And it's a great excuse for Felicia to interact with those characters, and it also harkens back to the old school approach where Marvel and DC, of course, would release a special series that maybe they wouldn't have all that much faith in, so they'd bring in a lot of guest characters, you know. I mean, just to remember the third issue of She-Hulk, where on the cover She-Hulk goes, well, by now, of course, it's mandatory, we have to have our special guest, and you guessed it, it's Spider-Man. So there's a lot of that in here. This is basically the whole series, but again, it does bring back that old school feeling, and in my opinion, it's absolutely great. I mean, we saw Felicia meeting Wolverine and also Deadpool in that issue. Again, she meets up with the Fantastic Four, Iron Fist, a lot of Marvel characters. There are a lot, even more so, a lot of callbacks to other characters or other events that don't show up in this. And again, it's a lot of fun, and as we can see, there are a lot of elements almost beyond Felicia Hardy's, repertoire or usual stuff. But considering, again, she goes around meeting all those heroes, she will bump up into a lot of enemies and very unsavory situations, let's say. But again, it's a lot of fun. The title of my video points out that this is a mix between old school greatness and modern problems. And one problem that I do have with the series, and actually the only problem that I have, is the abysmal art. At least in the first 6 issues, because the artists after that do change, and we do get a clear improvement, but the first 6 issues are absolutely atrocious. You saw in the previous issue, and here as well, this is not how the Black Cat, how Felicia Hardy is supposed to look. But again, modern problems. Marvel clearly would rather spend their budget on the covers. They got J. Scott Campbell, come on. But when it comes to the interior art, they just go, oh, screw it, that's not our problem. And again, it shouldn't be like this. Sure, keep J. Scott Campbell, but make sure beyond that your interior art is up to his covers. If not, get a better interior artist that could also do the covers. And they did do that for the second volume, but here again, just an absolute disappointment. This is absolutely horrible. Just look at this page right here. Look at this black cat and this one from the cover. Come on, this is embarrassing. It's not just the face and it's the lines. This is amateurish. This is absolutely, again, embarrassing. How can you put out something like this? They do learn their lesson, and as I mentioned, the art does improve as the series moves along. But the first issues, man, it's really tough. The annoying part is, so here we have the first issue, we got our main story, and towards the end we get two backstories. And the first one is the Black Cat and her perfect, I don't even know how to read that word. It's her little cat here. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at this art. And come on, why couldn't you get this for the whole issue? For the whole issues, actually. It's very annoying that they actually showed us, hey, you don't like the art? Here's something better for just 2 pages. And it's, come on, guys. The other backstory has better art, not as good, but still an improvement, and still we don't get more of this. Instead, we get this, and it's like, why did you even show us that? Of course, actually, it's very important because it does show the Black Fox working together with Felicia Hardy's dad in his prime, and it's actually a nice backstory here. But again, it's annoying because it shows us what we could have had and what we actually end up having. Okay, so I mentioned that this was gonna be a positive video, and I promise it is, because other than the art, which again, just look at this, embarrassing, abysmal. But other than that, I really enjoyed it, and Jed McKay did an awesome job here. He really got Black Cat, he really gets Felicia Hardy, and he could be hit or miss sometimes. I remember around this time, actually after the Black Cat, he did a Taskmaster miniseries, and Taskmaster, of course, a very imposing villain. He has history behind him, but Jed McKay wrote him as a buffoon, and that was nice. It wasn't, and it was a clear mess, but here his writing style definitely fits the Black Cat and fits this kind of series and story, because make no mistake, this is not something serious. This is definitely something to be read for fun. This is, as I said, old school comics, you know, it's not gonna turn your brain or anything like that. You're just gonna read this and you're gonna have a good time. And Jed McKay, again, really takes advantage of that and really creates a very fun series. And again, the fact that he has Felicia running around interacting with so many characters. Again, there are so many callbacks to so many things from Marvel's history. It's great. It's a great series for comic book fans, for Marvel fans. again, it could have gone very wrong. I mean, just as they did with the art, Marvel could have said, just screw it, put something out, we'll get the money from the variant covers. But this was on Jed McKay because he didn't let this series down. He had a job and he did it, and he I think, at least, because you can kind of see it, he had a lot of fun doing it. Yes, we do get people just talking and eating, and if you know current Marvel comics, that could definitely be a problem, but not here. I mean, again, when you have Blastar coming into your issue, how could that be a problem? Again, this is great and top-notch writing from Jed McKay. I really, really think he did an amazing job. And seriously, I cannot stress this enough. So here's when Black Cat decided to rob Doctor Strange, and she and her crew go inside his mansion, and he's not there, but there are a lot of magical beings there, you know. So we get this talking ghost dog, which, I mean, come on. And he goes, "Wait, I know you. You're Silver Sable." And she's like, "Oh, for..." And that's kind of it. I mean, if you don't think this page is funny, don't try this book. Because, again, it's very light-hearted and very doesn't take itself very seriously, but just wants to have fun. And seriously, this cracked me up. And throughout the whole issue, the dog helps them, even though they're there to steal, you know, from Doctor Strange. But he helps them, thinking that the Black Cat is Silver Sable, and of course Felicia yells at her crew to not blow her cover, and yeah, it's very fun. Again, very light-hearted, and of course, I mean, again, with just with this issue, so we've got this magic dude, and of course he uses magic, and the way Felicia counteracts his powers is by just having luck. So of course, sometimes the Black Cat is depicted in the Marvel universe as having luck as her superpower, and we really do get to explore that concept. Honestly, it doesn't make sense, but again, it's an excuse for the issue to go on, and an excuse for a lot of cool stuff to happen. I mean, here we see some deadly rays get turned into butterflies, and if, again, sorry for harping on this, but if we can ignore the abysmal art, we'll definitely get something very fun out of this, and we'll get to see Black Cat being a badass and solving her problems at the end of the day. And of course, the comedy here by Silver Sable, that wasn't Silver Sable. And again, a high recommendation. Definitely get this if you can. I think this was collected in 3 trade paperbacks, each one containing around 3 or 4 issues. I actually hope you'll get an omnibus out of this because, again, so Jed McKay did the first volume, 12 issues, and then he also did the second volume. Marvel just had to break the series up for that issue number 1 sales again, but this is a continuous story. And one thing I do want to point out for Jed McKay is he has a style where he would start something, he would introduce an element, and then whole issues would go by nothing, and then he'd bring that back. And I mean, his current series, The Iron Cat, that actually comes out this week, was introduced in issue 11, and we got to see a lot of that costume in issue 12, where Black Cat meets Iron Man, and they kind of quarrel a bit. And again, just think about that. He does have an interesting style of introducing stuff and having the payback come at a later date after a lot of issues. And I do find it interesting and really worthwhile. It keeps you hooked to the series, and again, I'm actually very excited for the Iron Cat miniseries coming out. I've got it in my pull list. I'm definitely gonna review it once it's over. But for now, again, Black Cat by Jed McKay gets my high recommendation. You should definitely get it, read it, wait for that omnibus. It definitely deserves it, and actually I think we'll get to that. Okay, and that was it for my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will check out my next one, where I'll review the second volume of Black Cat, again also by Jed McKay. Things are getting really weird there. We'll get a lot of space stuff, a lot of other series coming in, and it's gonna be crazy. Again, look forward to that. And remember, I'm doing a giveaway where you could win a Fantastic Four Volume 1 Omnibus by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Already a huge turnout, more than I even ever expected. I want to thank everyone that already has joined in. I hope a lot more people will do so until July 13. Until then, I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.